Hi, it's Wolf from StormTheCastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as Epic Fantasy. That's right, this is the YouTube channel with the dragon, although you can't see the dragon right now. And this is my latest tutorial. This is an interesting medieval project, I call it the medieval project, on how to make a medieval wax stamper. See it? Hot wax stamper, so you can seal letters and writing. Kind of a quirky little thing. See it? There's what mine has a fist with a gauntlet holding a sword. See it? And I will show you how to make this. Also, so something like this, you know, is kind of something from the past and people don't do it very much, but I think it's rather quite nice. I will show you how to do this, and I will show you the process of this with the hot wax too at the end of the video on how to do that. You know, it's probably not good for email, but it is good if you want to sit down and write yourself an actual letter. Then you can seal it and mail it. So, kind of cute, kind of like it. You could even roll up a scroll and do something like that. So, fun project. We will make this, how we do that, and how to do the actual stamping with the hot wax. Thanks for watching my videos. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button somewhere down here or up there. Lots of fun and interesting projects, always, all kinds of creative stuff. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing. In this video, I also talk a little bit about the process of creativity, and you're going to see that because I will show you how a project like this developed and what my mindset was and how it thinks. So how I thought, and that way you can also get a little bit of tips on creativity and developing a project and developing an idea. That's kind of an interesting thing. So let's launch into the introduction, and then we will do how to make a medieval hot wax sealer or stamper for hot wax for letters and envelopes and stuff like that. Thank you. Dioramas, origami, catapults and trebuchets, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees and paper games, swords and shields and real blacksmithing, model boxes, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormTheCastle.com. Let's make something. Okay, let's start working on this stamper, and I want to talk a little bit about creativity here. You can see I drew out myself a bunch of big circles, a lot larger than the stamp normally, and then I just said, hey, what's my idea? How am I going to be creative about this? And I just bounced a bunch of stuff. There's a castle, there's a W, there's a S, there's a StormTheCastle.com, and I just freewheeled it and just had no inhibitions about it and started drawing some things, a shield, and then I came up with this. A hand holding a sword, and I said I like it, and then you see I developed it a little bit further, then I started to get a little bit more focused on it until I came up with this, and I said that's the one. So see, that's how the creative process goes. You kind of just freewheel anything and pop out ideas, any kind of thing, and don't worry about anything how it looks, just the idea, and then something kind of hits, and then you work that further. So now I have my design. And now we're going to move it to the real size of the object. And just like I do in just about every project, I always talk about how you start out with the rough stuff, the rough shape, the rough size, and then you develop to your final product. So now with a 1-inch circle, which is the size of our actual stamp, I started drawing those out, getting a little bit more detail than how I wanted it. And see, there we go, I love that one. So we have our design. We start out on paper, just like everything else we start out on paper. So now we're going to realize that design on paper onto our actual stamper. And to do that, I'm using Fimo clay. You can use Primo, any kind of a hardening clay. And this Fimo here goes in the oven. You can bake it to harden it. So I laid out a circle, and then I used a bottle cap here to cut my 1-inch size. So that's a little bit of my soliloquy on creativity. You start out with rough, with anything, and you just kind of bounce anything out until you refine it to get an idea you like, and then you do your detail work, and then you realize that in your actual object, which is this right here. So now I'm using a bunch of different tools to actually sculpt it, and I'm always looking at the picture I drew. Toothpicks work great for this. Dental tools, little miniature picks, and see how I'm just drawing it out lightly. Same process applies. You do it lightly and then you refine it. Now, one thing to remember, that this is the opposite of what the wax is going to look like. So the low points here are actually the high points on the wax. So you got to give that some consideration. That's it, almost done. A little bit of detail work left to go, but you've made your stamper. So I use a piece of string to remove it from the surface of the table, and that's so you don't distort it, trying to remove it. And then we put it in the oven. And I think you can check, it comes with instructions, like it's 235 for about 30 minutes. You can use a regular oven or a toaster oven. You can see this oven's been used for toast. See all the toast in the bottom there? So while that's baking, we're going to work on our handle. And I've got some options here for you. You can use various tool handles like this. See these file handles or that saw handle? You cut off the metal part and you've got a nice little stamper. Or you can use a 1-inch dowel like this. A broomstick. I get this piece of 1-inch dowel. It's painted black, but that doesn't matter that much. We're going to use this. So we cut it flush and then cut it down to size. And it's 3 1/2 inches long. That's about right for my hand. It was comfortable for me. You can make it to any size you want, but consider it to be comfortable for your hand. See, I'm trying it. I like it. Now I'm going to use a half circle rasp to start to shape it out. Easy work. Kind of makes me think of knife making. I have lots of tutorials on that too. Shameless plug. But just have some fun with this. And I did this whole project in one day. I kind of like it. See, it's starting to take shape. Actually, in the Middle Ages, when they made these things, I don't think they had the word ergonomic. You know, comfortable to use and for humans to use for your hands or whatever. But we use that word ergonomic, but they were very ergonomic. You wanted it to be a comfortable fit in your hand, especially if you use something a lot. So once you get the shape of it, you can do a lot of things with it. You can stain it, you can paint it, you can add detail, you can, you know, sign it, do whatever you want. I use a little tung oil on it, just like normal knife making. Added some nice little gold lines here with enamel paint. And that red, that is just tape to mask it, so I can get these gold lines in. That's it. For some reason, it makes me think of a bowling pin. I don't know why. Doesn't that look like a bowling pin? So now let's glue the medallion we made out of Fimo to the handle, and our thing will be done. Thanks for watching this far. There we go. We sand it all down nice and flat so that it makes the two pieces adhere well together. Now, depending on the type of glue you use, you know, you follow the directions for that glue, but you want a strong glue. I'm using a Gorilla Glue that recommends you moisten both surfaces. So that's what I've gone ahead and done. And we'll go at a fast speed here. Then put a liberal amount of the Gorilla Glue on there. And fix them together. That's it. Piece of cake, it looks good. There's our stamper, our medieval wax sealer. So some rubber bands to hold it all tight while it is drying, and we're ready. Now leave a creative comment here in this on this video. If you do something really creative, I will actually say, well, not really an official contest, but this is what I will do. I will mail you a letter. I will wax seal a letter and mail it to you if you want me to. So you leave a creative comment and say, hey, send me a letter or something like that. I'll pick somebody and I'll send you a letter if you catch on to this. You had to have been watching this whole video. So let's go ahead and seal a letter. This is a special wax that you can buy, and I may do a video on this wax too. And you melt it onto the envelope or the letter or whatever in a place that seals it. And this is actually at a high speed too, because it takes a little time here. It takes like, 30 seconds to a minute. Just melt the wax slowly into a nice big piece. You can spread it around with the wax, it's optional. And then moisten your stamper. That's important. If you don't moisten it, it's going to stick. And then go ahead and stamp it. Voila, looks good. I like it. So, leave me a creative comment. Say you want a letter. if anybody catches on to this, and I will stamp a letter and mail it to you. Just like this, you will get something like this in the mail. It's kind of fun. Look at the little gauntlet and the sword. Yay! Thanks for watching my videos. Lots more stuff on my website at stormthecastle.com, and here on my YouTube channel. Oh, and I wanted to say too, if you make mead, you can also wax those mead bottles and stamp the ends of those too. Here's some more recommended videos that you can watch. Thanks for watching. I do 2 videos every week.